This is so awesome. We are literally on the sea floor. That's insane. So I don't know if you guys remember, but before, and I can add a photo somewhere here, before this entire area was covered in water, and it was pretty deep water. And now, as you can see, there's a little bit of water there, but most of this is just empty. It's just the sea floor. And this is because of tide. So last time we were here, it was high tide, or the tide was coming in. So this entire area was covered in water. But right now, the tide is currently going out, and lowest tide is at around 10:40 a.m. So at 10:30, me and my dad will head out. By then, this entire region that still has some water in it should be out already, and we'll essentially be able to walk on the sea floor. And this is actually why the tide is so cool, because this used to be like up where the brown kelp is. This used to be up to there, like kind of deep-ish water. Like I couldn't stand up in it. But now it's low and you can walk on a sea floor, which is just absolutely incredible, I think, because like it's the ocean floor. So I will definitely be doing that in maybe 30 minutes once the tide is completely out. This is actually the part of the bay that I was kayaking across. I was kayaking on top of, paddleboarding on top of all of this. And now it's just ground. The water is completely gone. But before, the water was covering even those rocks right there. It was just all covered in water. And it's still 9:23. So the tide isn't fully out until 10:40. And all of that white stuff there, all of those rock-looking things, are actually oysters that birds like seagulls and other types of birds around the area fly in for and eat. Also, last night, a couple of birds did this on our windshield. I don't know if it was just one that had a really, really bad day or just a whole group of them, but it's so foul. It's awful. On every single windshield too. Okay, so now the tide is completely out, so we are going to make our way down there and walk across the floor. This is so awesome. We are literally on the sea floor. That's insane. Here there are a bunch of clams and little crabs, and there was a seagull here, but it flew off when I came down. But yeah, they're just coming here and eating everything that's trapped. There's really bright colored starfish right here. It's like just like the sandpaper. Oh, there's a red starfish here too. Oh, that one's like slimy. This is a massive crab. This is super cool. This starfish, it's like kind of ripped apart, like its limbs here, another one's there, there's another one down there. A seagull must have gotten to it. Yeah, here you can see it even better. This is like where the center is, and all of its limbs are there. I do know that starfish regenerate. I don't know if it can regenerate from that. So we found this, my dad actually found this, and we think... Wait, there's a crab right there. Is there a crab in there? Oh, there's a tiny baby little crab right there. Yeah, I thought that it was plastic at first, but my dad's thinking maybe it's sand. Is it like sand? Yeah, it's kind of falling apart here. Let's not break it, but that's so cool. I'm curious. You're curious you can break it? Oh, it's what is it? Maybe sand material?
Stuff material in it, mud.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, whoa, yeah, it's like sand and mud.
Yeah.
Well,
be some excretion, right?
It feels like plastic though, but no, it's just breaking apart like sand. Yeah, so I wonder what that is. Oh, and the shells are so cool too. But yeah, I have no idea what this is. Oh, what is that? Okay, well, there we go. I have no clue.
Isn't that cool?
That is
There's
really...
a fish here.
Is there a fish there? Oh, there's another one there. Oh, and there's baby crab. This is super cool. There are these like two log type things with algae all over it, and they're hollow, which is kind of incredible. Yeah, oh, that's cool.
What's that?
What's
Is that
what?
Right there, is that a lobster?
Wait, this is so cool. This is an absolutely massive oyster, and it's still alive. It's sealed shut. Some of these oysters are just massive, and then there's this teeny tiny baby little starfish. It's so cute. Here, there are just tons of oysters. Oh yeah, that's 3/5 of a starfish that my dad pointed out. And this limb already kind of looks like it's regenerating, which is cool. Okay, so here you can see kind of like a little scuffle, right? And if you follow along, you can see teeny tiny raccoon footprints that just lead along probably up there somewhere. Yeah, here you can see just the tiny paw prints. They're so cute. This one's so cute. It must have been trying to get like an oyster. Yeah, like a puppy. It was probably trying to get an oyster or a clam. This is how big it is compared to my hand. It's super, super tiny. There's another bigger starfish here, and it has all 5 of its limbs still. And this area is actually called the intertidal zone because when the tide comes up, all of this is covered in water, which is why there are clams and there's seagrass. But when it's low tide and the tide goes out, it's open for birds and raccoons to eat some of the clams here. So that's why it's called the intertidal zone, because it's in between the 2 tides, depending on high tide and low tide. They're still here, and they have certain adaptations which allow them to survive in and out of water for short periods of time, which is really, really cool. And it's really funny because there are also just a bunch of pine cones, which aren't supposed to be here, but there's so many. And all of these pine cones here look like little turds, which is just great. And this little bit here is mostly just sandy, so I'm not sinking in while walking. And through here, that's where actually the ocean is, which is super cool. So me and my dad are trying to get as close as we can to the ocean line. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 starfish here. And over here, like my dad pointed out, there's a whole mess of them. There, and under the rocks. And that one is a different color. That's weird. That one's more orange, while the rest of them are purple. Oh, and here's just a whole mess of them right by the rock. Oh my god, this is all seagrass, and we have to be really careful because the green is super, super slippery. Like back there, I almost slipped. Oh, that was a raven, and then my dad yelling back at it. And right here is where the ocean meets the low tide, which is super cool. And it's also like insanely slippery and almost impossible to walk across this. But back there, it's not as bad. And over here is more of the really cool orangey, like rust-colored starfish. Oh, this is super cool. I think it is a crab leg. Yeah, look at that. It's super pretty too. It's all purple, and it looks like kind of like a sunset. But yeah, no, it's a really cool crab leg. A seagull probably must have gotten to it, but that's gorgeous. Here's another bit of dirt that's been dug up. And this must be actually another raccoon that just dug something up, got it, and dragged it back. My dad said that he saw more raccoon tracks. I have not seen them, but yeah, it must just be a raccoon. Because we've actually seen a couple raccoons on this island before. But this is the island that we stay at, Tugboat Island, with all our boats. This is another island, and we're not going on there because it is a private island. But we're just exploring this area because obviously this is the bay. Nobody owns it. And here's another one of these weird looking clay type things. I still don't know what it is, but yeah, it's like solid. Maybe like a crab or something made it. I have no idea. I mean, it kind of looks like plastic, but I don't think it is. It looks a lot like plastic though. Look at this, right? It's like kind of some gelatinous, like silicone type material. It looks like sand, but I don't know. I feel like it's man-made, maybe?
For sure not.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
For sure.
Because yeah, it looks like silicone.
Yeah, but this one is the same shape as the other one.
That's
and
true.
you break it off.
It could have been something that fell off of a buoy though, I'm thinking. Yeah, I
We'll
don't
look it
know.
up.
This is what. Yeah, I don't know. Could be man-made, but even if it is or isn't, it's still super cool. Here's another crab shell. I don't know what it is. Is it like a plastron? I'm pretty sure the carapace is the bottom of a crab, so the top might be called a plastron. I'm pretty sure. I will fact check myself and add it somewhere in the video. And if you ever do anything like this, make sure that you do wear shoes, because as you heard, all of these little clamshells are extremely sharp. I actually ended up cutting my foot a little bit because I'm wearing flip-flops because I don't have wet shoes. But if you guys have like wet shoes or like certain type of like wet boots or hiking boots, that's probably the absolute best for this type of terrain because it has good grip. You won't get cut on the bottom of your foot, and all of your foot is protected, so I definitely recommend having that. We didn't really have that, so we just wore flip-flops, but flip-flops are better than nothing, so make sure you're at least wearing something. It might be difficult to walk around this terrain with shoes on, but it's better than having cut-up feet. And these crab shells are super cool because you can see all the little detail in all of the scoots there, and it's just, you know, cracked open. But it's so cool, and the colors are gorgeous. Especially if you turn it around, it's a bit dirty, so you can't see it that clearly, but in the back you can definitely get an idea of just how brightly colored this crab was. And with this coloration, it being bright red and being in this area, I'm pretty sure it's a red rock crab because those are the most common, or one of the most common here, especially like right here because it's not too deep. I could be wrong, of course, but I'm pretty sure that this is a red rock crab. Let me actually try to clean the top off for you guys just a little bit so you can see. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. That's a part of the carapace fell off. Here we go. Here you can just really see how gorgeous the color is. It's like a sunset or something. It's beautiful. This one has teeny tiny little barnacles on it. Oh, that's so cool. And here you can actually see where the eyes would have been, which is super cool. The difference in color is actually amazing between these two, because these are like a darker kind of purple, and this one's just a gorgeous light purple with like, I don't know, it kind of looks like tie-dye. It's so cool. Oh my god, this is actually the coolest thing ever. So my dad was showing me this bottle, right? And it's just like, it has a tiny little opening there. And there's like a full-sized clam. It's like, it's broken in two, but there's like a full-sized clam in there. What we think happened, which is insane, is the clam must have gone in there when it was still like a tiny little baby and then just grew up in this bottle its whole life, which is so cool. And some kids went here as well to check out the low tide, and their tiny little footprints are in the sand. Okay, so here is another starfish. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's super cool. You can see its tiny little legs moving. Do you see that? That is incredible. And this is super cool. This is the underside of a starfish, and you can see, oh, that is incredible. You can see its legs moving. And of course, this one will flip back over so that it does not dry out. But that's just insane. You can see more of its legs actually starting to come out of these little crevices. This is Alicia. She's grabbing onto the bottom of the rocks, trying to see the
Coming up for air, going back down.
Watching the poor starfish. This little crevice where the legs are in, we're closing up. That's incredible. And now the starfish is flipped over, and you can see actually it putting its legs down. Yeah, you can see it moving because it was, all of its appendages were kind of curled up. And now, let's see, it's starting to move. Super cool. So here's my dad just chilling on a cool little rock overlooking the, well, I guess it's still a bay. It's just empty. It's drinking clam juice. Okay. And here is what the area looks like with the tide completely out. And we're headed back to the boat. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was super cool to see like the entire just sea floor and walk on it and see all the cool little animals on it. Just amazing. Make sure to subscribe and remember, it is a great day to smile. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!